Hi everyone, I am Kentucky. Welcome to my studio, the Kentucky Bend, and this is Talking Albums. I'm delighted to be here today because so often I hear musicians talk about everything other than music. So thank you for having me on the program to do my favorite thing, talk about, write, create, make, and debate music. I come from Alberta, where I grew up. And in 2004, or somewhere around there, maybe 2005, I got a record deal with Universal Music from mailing demos to all the labels in North America. What a surprise. And I said to the guys, let's go to Toronto. So we did. I spent the next 15 years living in Toronto, New York City, and London, making music, breaking music, and eventually falling apart as a person and musically. That is what led me to where I am now in my studio, the Kentucky Bend in Almonte, Ontario, Canada, which is a small town west of our nation's capital of Ottawa. I certainly never expected to be here, yet here I am. And that's kind of the story of rock and roll too. This one-time explosion that happened that will never happen again, but we can maintain and further this art form that I believe is the broadest of all the musical genres. I make rock and roll, no surprise. And this past May, I put out my first album as Kentucky. It's called Second Chance Music. And it's the story of how I almost died and should have from drug addiction, didn't, and by some miracle found myself living the life that you see around me properly. So very happy to be here talking with you. Let's get into the music. My go-to album is, as you can see, probably we've got a poster from the original album of Graceland back there by Paul Simon. It's a Paul Simon album, but it's Rhythm of the Saints. Here's this beautiful cover and a funeral procession on the back. This album is wonderful. It's full of Brazilian and Portuguese percussion. It's got the incredible guitar playing of Vincent Nagini, a beautiful West African guitar player, they're my favorite guitar players from that region of West Africa. And probably most significantly to me, I find that it caught Paul Simon at a time, this album, where he has summarized his view of life, decided that praying is simply talking about the memory of God, and that the world has changed and so have our minds. And what are we to do with this new reality that we have? Interestingly, I think that those questions are very much relevant right now, and I don't think they've been solved. But the way he presents them in lyrics over the type of that West African guitar and the Brazilian rhythms, they really help me through life. When I need to be in touch with the sorrow of being alive, I listen to Rhythm of the Saints. When I need to find joy after death, I listen to Rhythm of the Saints. And I hope that you will enjoy it if you take the time to check the album out. It will discuss all of our deepest fears about living and dying, and I hope it will help you as it has helped me. The first album I bought, I really had to think about it and be honest. It wasn't an album, it was a cassette, and it was something that was called a double A side. And if any of you don't know what that means, it means two awesome singles, one on one side of the tape, one on the other. It was 1993 or 94, and it was Nirvana, and the B side of the double A side, the second A, was All Apologies from In Utero, and the lead single was a song called Rape Me. And it generated a lot of controversy at the time. It would generate far more now. But the song is very powerful, speaking out against rape culture and the pervasive, what we would now call, I guess, toxic masculinity that Kurt Cobain felt that he saw in society. And it was a wonderful song, and it spoke to me very powerfully. And whenever something speaks to us very powerfully, we usually realize that that thing has occurred in our lives, and I am no exception. So I brought the cassette home and my mom threw it out. I guess she wasn't ready. So I went out and got another one, and I just would listen to it when no one was around. An amazing song, so powerful. So if you go back and check out In Utero, that's the one that I would recommend. My Sunday morning album is Zeropa by U2. It was their experimental album, you know, after they did Actung Baby and Chop Down the Joshua Tree, and before they got to pop, which was just the sound of a hangover and a disdain of popular culture with its materialism and consumerism. Zeropa's right there in the middle, and it's lost, it's floating, it's disassociated, it has jarring sounds in it, and there's a lack of reality and a confusion to it that I actually find very comforting. And it's also a hangover album. In the last song, The Wanderer, which they had Johnny Cash sing the lead vocal on, he talks about being a man who wants to go out into the world and leave his family waiting and taste and touch as much as a man can before he repents. Other themes in the album, similar to Rhythm of the Saints, are where is God? Who is going to take care of me? What am I supposed to do? I hear too many voices all around me with this new media and the confusion of satellite television, where I can flip from the Gulf War to home shopping to an exercise workout program to a food channel. Well, I think that you too saw what was coming, don't you? For that reason, Zeropa is still my Sunday morning album. It helps me reflect and see that the confusion and strain that I feel from being alive at this time in history is very understandable. So it makes me feel better. And that's the healing power of music that I'm sure that you're noting through the first 3 albums. Music helps me. You know, if it weren't for music, I wouldn't be able to understand anything, including myself. It's the map and the secret door to everything that is essential about being alive. The album more people should hear, oh, I'm so delighted to say this, Run the Jewels 4. Run the Jewels, if you don't know, is a rap duo comprised of MC and producer LP and MC Killer Mike, who recently won 3 Grammys for his Michael album, and then was arrested immediately afterwards, but that's being Black in America for you. Run the Jewels 4 is a visionary album that they rushed to completion because every single thing on every song, with no exception, that they were talking about hadn't happened, and then it happened while they were making the album. George Floyd, protests, Black Lives Matter, COVID, Trump, elections, everything. So they brought Pharrell in to help them finish it and do a bunch of things. This album is the best album that I have heard of any genre of music. Oh boy. I would say in the last 20 years. It deals with every subject imaginable and just bonks it right on the nose. It's got crisp, beautiful production. The samples are outstanding. Mavis Staples guests a vocal. Pharrell guests a vocal. Do yourself a favor and go out and check out this album. I still listen to it almost every day. The last album that I bought, I don't buy myself albums because I have a beautiful wife named Jody who buys me albums. And so, telling the truth, the last album that she bought me was Tommy by The Who. Now, I want you to enjoy this artwork, first of all. A big part of buying a record is the artwork. And I don't know how much of this you're going to catch, but we're having fun here, so let's try it. Look at this. Look how much they care. They cared so much. They cared so much when they were making this music. I feel like holding it like this. Tommy came out in '69, I believe. It dealt with child abuse, sexual abuse, bullying, trauma, war, culturally normative violence, autism, ADHD. Everything you can think of is in this album. in 1969. In my head, I actually call that album Trommy instead of Tommy, because Pete Townsend had a visionary understanding of what was really going on in the world, what has always gone on. And our culture is so hilarious right now, thinking that we have discovered the reason for everything, as though it wasn't happening before and nobody's already said it. And if you have the time to enjoy Tommy, please do enjoy it. Again, it helps me feel better because it deals with all the things that I have had to deal with, and that I see all the beautiful people who are broken around me dealing with every day. That brings us to the last album, the album which stands the test of time. It's so hard because art exists in the context it was created in. However, when I really thought about it, I actually selected Houses of the Holy by Led Zeppelin. Again, the artwork, beautiful, so beautiful. Look how much they cared. Isn't that great? It makes me emotional. Incredible. The sounds of this album are timeless. The songwriting is unstructured and not influenced by its surroundings. The guitar work is fluid, slushy, and slinky, and it doesn't conform to any genre or even a pattern. The songs morph and change as they go on. And especially the tempos, they rise and fall, like in Over the Hills and Far Away. In No Quarter, they speed up, they slow down. All the lyrics are mystical, or almost all of them. They speak of perfect dreams and things always being the same, so don't get too stressed out. The song remains the same. You're going to be stressed anyways from living, so try to enjoy it while you're here. Very much like the message of Ecclesiastes from the Old Testament. And I just think it's a timeless album because you can listen to that album over and over and over again, and the sounds always sound good. The guitars are so bright, but not shrill. The bass is beautifully played, especially on The Song Remains the Same itself, but it never does that woom woom sound in your ear. It's perfectly produced, perfectly mixed, performed with relaxation and confidence, and that's why it's the timeless album. However, having said all of that, those things are in the past, and I want to add a bonus album, and I hope this will get included. The bonus album is the recent EP released by Malia Rogers. She is a wonderful musician in Ottawa with a beautiful voice. She has got a lot of horizon in front of her in terms of her talent and the stage she is at in her artistic journey. And I want you to all go and check out Malia, and I hope I'm saying her name right. I speak with her on occasion, but we're not friends or anything. Her voice will carry you to a place where you will feel good. You'll be able to process things in an enjoyable way. And that lilting voice with a type of East Coast sweet beauty that is very reminiscent of the Rankin family, yet is very much its own thing, has got me the most delighted out of all of my contemporaries across North America right now. So that's me. That's my map, or parts of it, and that is my entrance point into the secret door of albums, and I've enjoyed talking about them with you. Thanks so much.